be geeks and dudes and dudettes. My name is DB Geek, and welcome to my Batman vs Superman movie review. Alright, dudes. So I'm literally just back from watching Batman vs Superman. And what can I say about this movie other than it was absolutely okay? Now, you're probably surprised to hear me say that. I'm surprised to hear me say that because let's go from the start here, okay? I was completely 100% fully hyped and ready for this movie, like half of the fucking world, okay? This was probably the most hyped up movie in superhero movie history. And I'm going to say this straight out and say it did not deliver. Now, before I went to see this movie, I've seen it's already been reviewed, and I was very off-putting from what I was hearing. A lot of bad reviews, a lot of people telling me, oh, it doesn't live up to its expectations. People are saying it only got something like 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, which really annoys me to hear that. I didn't want anybody to tell me that. And it kind of made me iffy about the film, but I didn't let it get to me, because as a fan I know myself if a movie is good or not for me. So I seen the movie, I'm back now, and I'm telling you that it was only okay. And I hate to say it, but the reviews that have been done already were true. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? Don't take this as if I'm hating on the movie. I have nothing good to say about the movie, because I'll tell you one thing. I enjoyed the movie. From start to finish, I really did enjoy the movie. It had a lot of stuff that I wanted to see, and I seen, and it really entertained me. I'm not saying this film didn't deliver on some parts. It did. So first of all, guys, I want to say that this is going to be a spoiler-filled review. Not spoiler-free. I'm going to go straight to spoiler-filled. Okay, because I want to tell you exactly what I did and didn't like about the movie, and I want you guys to give me your opinion on my opinions. Okay, so if you don't want this movie to be spoiled on you, if you haven't seen the movie, I advise you turn away now, or switch video, or click another one of my videos. That'd be awesome. But just don't watch this. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. You had your chance. Okay, so right, first of all, guys, when we come to the start of this movie, we get to a scene where it's showing the origin of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman. And we've all heard the story. We've seen the origin stories like countless times from all the other Batman films. They're all the same, okay? He's a little kid. He's with his parents. And then his parents get killed. He's traumatized by it. He falls down a manhole and then surrounded by bats or whatever. But the scene that they done in this film shows Bruce Wayne as a kid, and he's upset, attending his mother and father's funeral. He runs some direction and then he falls down a hole. Okay, we've all seen that coming because we've seen it before. But then we get to a scene where he's surrounded by bats, which is a familiar scene from other Batman movies. Next thing, he starts levitating with the bats. Now, straight away, Warner Brothers, you've confused a lot of people, because when I was watching that, I thought this was actually happening. I thought, okay, why is he floating? Why is he levitating? Why is bats making him fly? This doesn't make any sense. And then we hear that it's actually a dream. That he dreamt that the bats brought him to the light. A sudden realization is what it was supposed to be. But it was just so off-putting from the start. First of all, I want to say that this film consisted of too much Superman and not enough Batman. If you see from the title, it said Batman versus Superman, and from what I gathered, from what I was expecting more of a Batman film rather than a Superman film, because in this universe we've already been introduced by Superman, Man of Steel. We've seen his origin, where he came from, what's his story, what's his background, and who are the people that are involved in Clark Kent's, aka Superman's, life. But we got way too much more Superman in this film, dudes. We see a lot of Superman, we see a lot of Lois Lane, we see where Clark Kent is working, Clark Kent's boss. We get Lex Luthor. We all know Lex Luthor is one of the main villains in this film, but he was more or less Superman's main villain in this film. Guys, this is Ben Affleck's chance to show us what he can do as Batman. And he really did deliver on being Batman, but he didn't get enough screen time to become Batman. I'm just going to say this right now. Batman was rushed in this film. I know we've seen the origin stories many, many times, and I know Warner Brothers probably took that under consideration, so they kind of montaged his life of being Batman. But they done it too quick. I don't care if we see another origin story. I just want to see a new, fresh origin story that Ben Affleck is associated with. Not just throw in his parents getting killed and then him becoming Batman. A sudden realization and he wants to become the Batman. We need to know how he became the Batman. We need to be introduced to this new Batman. Ben Affleck as Batman. Not just him as a kid, next thing him 20 years as a vigilante, and he's got 20 years experience of being Batman, and then he's Batman. Like, I know they had to fit a lot of things into this movie, but they really, really needed to focus on Batman more in this film. He was rushed, guys. He was absolutely rushed. Superman got his chance. He got his own movie, for Christ's sake. It was Ben Affleck's turn to become the Batman, and they didn't deliver on it. And I am completely disappointed by that, because the one thing I was looking forward to most in this film was Batman. I can't say Batman all the time, but I'm saying Batman all the time. Okay, let's just stop talking about Batman here for a second. Let's talk about a few other things in the film that they shouldn't have put in it, we'll say. Okay, so first things first. We get to a scene in the film where Batman encounters data from Lex Luthor, which was taken from him by Wonder Woman because she needed it to find out something, but she couldn't crack it. So she gave it back to Bruce Wayne, Batman, and Batman cracked it and then found hidden files on the other members of the Justice League, okay? Right. That was all well and good, but I think even that, like, don't get me wrong, I was blown away that they shown Ezra Miller as a Flash. They shown that scene of him in the shop, and then something, the shop was being robbed, and then he saves the day. Alright, that's the Flash. And then we see Aquaman. We get our first proper look at Aquaman. Jason Momoa looks freaking badass. Don't get me wrong, he looks fucking fantastic as Aquaman. But even at that, I think they showed too much. Don't be hating on this now, dudes, because let's face it, okay? This film was called Batman vs. Superman. Dawn of Justice. Okay? I suppose it was right to show the rest of the Justice League, but it was kind of in the wrong part of the film for me. Batman was trying to figure out how to take down Superman, and then out of nowhere he discovers files about these other metahumans, which is completely irrelevant to what he was meant to do in this film, and it was really, really off-putting. But enough of that. Another thing that happened in the film that, to me, I knew what was going on, but I only know because I'm a fan, and I've read the comics, I've seen the cartoons, I'm aware of the story, but there's a scene where Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne, Batman, dozed off and ended up dreaming state again. He seems to be dreaming a lot in this film. And out of nowhere, we see a flash of Red Hood shouting Lois Lane's name. Now, I guarantee you, 60 to 70% of the people that were sitting in that cinema today had no idea who Red Hood was. Now, straight away, guys, that is completely off-putting to people that have no idea who that character is. Because straight away, if that was me, I'd be like, who the hell is this guy and why is he relevant to this movie? That is a huge hole in this movie, guys. A huge hole. Don't get me wrong, I lost my shit when I seen Red Hood. I was like, oh my god, it's Red Hood. You know, that's because I'm a fan. But everybody else don't know who he is, and why is he relevant, and why was he shouting Lois Lane's name? Why? I didn't understand why. Right, so enough about the bad things that I found in this movie. Let's talk about the things that made this movie entertaining. Let's talk about the action sequences. Let's talk about the look of Batman and how he actually looks, like up close and fully in detail what he looks like. And let's also talk about Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Lex Luthor. Okay, so straight away I'm going to talk about Batman and the action sequences. The action sequences were absolutely bloody amazing. They were so entertaining, they were so good, especially coming to the end of the film where Batman helps Superman and he takes down all the bad guys, and that was full Arkham City style fighting right there, straight from the games, which I really, really appreciate, because that's exactly how Batman should be. That's how strong he is. That's how much he can take. That's how easily he can take down bad guys. That's Batman for me, dude. In regards performance wise on that part of the film, it was fantastic and completely 100% dedicated to the character of Batman, and I really, really enjoyed it. And then the overall look of Batman was just absolutely amazing. And dudes, what can I say about Gal Gadot's performance as Wonder Woman other than she stole the show for me? And I know a lot of people said that to me before you've seen the film, that Wonder Woman steals the show, and my god, does she do it. With the limited screen time that she had, she really, really took it to the level of standard that everybody was hoping for. She really portrayed the beauty, the power, the seductiveness, everything that Wonder Woman is. She delivered on all qualities and all characteristics of Wonder Woman, and especially the scenes where she comes down and she saves Batman from Doomsday, and straight from that moment on, I was in awe by her performance as Wonder Woman. Like, when she was fighting Doomsday with Superman, it was something else. It really was. And she was enjoying it as well. This was a battle to the death for Superman, but for the Amazonian princess, Wonder Woman, she was enjoying this, because she smiled at one point when she got knocked to the ground. Like, this was just another walk in the park for her. And it really, really grasped me as a fan, because that's how Wonder Woman should be. And she really, really done a great job. And there's, like, from Wonder Woman in this film was exactly what I wanted her to be. Completely, 100%. This is how Wonder Woman should have been, and she done a fantastic job. So props to Gal Gadot and her performance as Wonder Woman, and I can't wait to see her in the future movies. Henry Cavill as Superman is a perfect Superman. He's got the perfect physique, he's got the perfect face, and he acts really well as Clark Kent and as Superman. He does a great job. He done a great job in Man of Steel, and he also does a great job in this movie too. But we've seen Superman. We wanted to see Batman. We didn't get enough of him, and that is where this film comes down for me, dudes. It didn't deliver too much on Batman as it should. It took nearly 1 hour and a half to really get to see some action in this movie, and as bad as that sounds, it is the truth, because the entire film was kind of a build up to why Batman wants to fight Superman, and what's Batman's motives to fight Superman, and what's Lex Luthor's master plan coming to the end of the film. Like, nearly the whole film was a build up to the fight of Batman versus Superman, which is the title of this movie. And the whole fight scene was probably about 5 minutes or less. And that really annoys me, because this film is called Batman versus Superman, guys. And we got a 3 to 5 minute fight scene, which was an absolutely awesome fight scene, don't get me wrong. Was completely entertained by it, blown away by the fight scene and all that monarch. But it wasn't enough maybe I'm just being greedy, but for me as a fan, it wasn't enough for what was expected from this film. We needed to see Batman versus Superman full blown. We needed to see at least 10 minutes of a fight scene. At least 10 minutes of a fight scene. And we didn't get it, guys. And the part that I really, really didn't get the most about this film was Batman had Superman in a moment where he was going to kill him, and he wasn't even going to hesitate. And then out of nowhere, Superman says Martha, which is Superman's Earth mother's name, which is also Bruce Wayne's mother's name. And he stopped. Batman stopped. Okay? And then obviously Lois Lane came to Superman's rescue and said Martha is his mother's name. And that's when Bruce threw away the spear, the kryptonite spear. And then out of nowhere, he became Superman's best friend. Yes. From wanting to kill him to being his best friend in about 5 seconds flat. That didn't make any sense to me. I don't know why that was the case. Just because his mother is the same name as his mother's name, that doesn't make you best friends automatically. Well, not in my book anyway. What should have been there should have been lack of trust still between Batman and Superman. Not straight away, I trust you, you're my best friend, and I'm going to go save your mother. Whatever it takes. I'm going to risk my life to save your mother, even though I was just about to kill you. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. And that really, really put me off completely. I don't know why Warner Brothers went that route. I think that script was possibly rushed. This part was possibly rushed because they wanted to get Doomsday into the picture. And they did. Doomsday was awesome. But in my opinion, I don't think they should have put Doomsday in this film. I think Doomsday should have been saved for the Justice League to take on as a team, not the Trinity. I like the way the Trinity was in this film, but in my opinion, the Trinity was rushed. Everything was rushed in this film, guys. And it's just... I hate to say it, dudes, but Batman vs. Superman did not deliver. For me as a fan, it did not deliver. It didn't. It was rushed. There was too many plot holes in here, guys. Too much confusion in film. Not much of an origin for Batman, our new Batman, or Batfleck, and too short of a fight scene. And for that, guys, I'm gonna give it 3 Bs out of 5 because it didn't deliver for me. It didn't deliver for me. Now, I know I didn't do a rating on my previous movie review, which is the Deadpool movie review, but I'm going to say it right now, that the Deadpool movie got a full 5 Bs out of 5. And that is top score, because we all know how freaking amazed I was at that film. So yeah, guys, that is all I have to say about my Batman vs. Superman review. Dudes, I hope I didn't put you off the film. Even I hope you guys aren't watching this and you haven't even seen the film yet, because then I feel bad. You're probably not going to go watch it after this review. But I hope I didn't put too much of a damper on this film for you guys that have enjoyed it, because don't get me wrong, I did enjoy this film. I was entertained from this film. It was really, really awesome to see Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman in the same film. And Doomsday was amazing. The CGI was class, and it was just all of that was all good stuff. But the structure of the movie wasn't there. There wasn't enough of an origin for Batman. It was too rushed. There was too many montage sequences in there, like the training, Ben Affleck's training, or Bruce Wayne's training to fight Superman. That was literally about 10 seconds of him lifting weights, and then boom, he's ready to fight Superman. That made no sense to me either, dudes. But dudes, this is my review for Batman vs. Superman. This is all I have to say, guys. If you like this video, guys, give it a like, a thumbs up, and that'd be super awesome. And dudes, if you want to see some more reviews, I have plenty more movies to come. Civil War is on the cards, dudes. That is next, and I can't wait to review that for you guys. And if you want to see that, guys, then please hit subscribe, and that'd be super awesome also. And as always, dudes, stay geeky, stay cool, be awesome, and be happy. And I'll see you, dudes, in my next video.